we need to be aware of our effect on the environment. I throw garbage into the ocean looking for sea monsters. Today, we're going to talk about the mer people. Linus isn't a mer people. Some of us have already seen a sea monster. It shows up occasionally somewhere around the docks and swims out to sea. And there's been a lot of speculation on exactly how and when it does spawn, if it's on a particular day, if something has to happen before you see it, if you can catch it while you're fishing. In fact, at the summer luau, the wizard even mentions them. The mer people are curious about your festivities. They become upset when you litter into the ocean. And so for a long time, I thought the sea monster would show up after you throw your first piece of trash into the ocean because people tend to always see it early in the game, and that might be because that was the first time they ever dropped something into the water. Still have my suspicions about this one. And for reasons I can't explain, Mums has died. He's lying face down in his bed and all his furniture has disappeared. It turns out the sea monster spawns like this. It has a 1 in a million chance for every frame that passes for it to spawn, as long as it spawns in the water. It can potentially still spawn on the beach, which means it doesn't spawn, which makes this a very, very rare event. So if you've ever seen a sea monster, congratulations. Again, that's 1 in a million per frame. So if you're thinking you get to sit here and wait for it to spawn, I wouldn't be so sure about that. I was once inclined to try this, but that could take you up to 278 hours. Even then, it's not guaranteed because it could potentially just spawn on the beach and then you're starting over again. But luckily for me, I'm about the luckiest person in existence. And I didn't even have to throw any garbage into the ocean. But we're still going to do that anyway. Maybe that'll make more of them spawn. Unfortunately, we've already confirmed that that just doesn't work, but it's still fun to throw garbage into the ocean. Anyways, that's what the sea monster looks like. And just in case you're wondering exactly where they can spawn, well, this should be about their boundaries. They can spawn anywhere you're seeing them currently spawn. Never seen one over here before. Originally, I only thought they could spawn kind of right here along that left edge because that was the only place I ever saw them. But anywhere here, well, that's where they can be. But this, no doubt, has me a little bit curious. Can they spawn on the other side of the beach? Can they spawn anywhere else out in the world? Can they spawn anywhere at all other than right here? The left side of the beach? They cannot. Only Haley's lurking up here. I've always really been curious if they can spawn on the right side of the beach, but they can't. That's kind of a shame. It would appear that there's absolutely no effect on the river. I want to try the mountain lake and then some of the ponds in the mines. Just one suspicious Linus. Have you been spawned here? Whenever you catch a fish, take a moment to thank it for its sacrifice. Do I need to do the same thing with my children? Even if you don't believe in the spirit of the fish, it's a good mental exercise. We need to be aware of our effect on the environment. I throw garbage into the ocean looking for sea monsters. But it would appear that the sea monster cannot spawn in the mountain lake. The mines, however, do have ponds every 20 floors, I believe. Floor 20? Nothing. Floor 60? A whole bunch more nothing. Floor 100, the deepest water hole in the game? No sea monsters, just annoyingly hard to catch lava eels. But there does seem to be an awful lot at the ocean today. In case you're wondering how I'm doing this, I have a mod that simply increases the spawn rate. And since we do have a rare opportunity, we can try and catch one. Linus would be so thrilled about this. I catch garbage for sure. Maybe you just kind of gotta land the lure right on its head. You would never ever get this opportunity in the game because you're never going to find one of these. And if you are, you're going to have your fishing rod ready. Yep, doesn't seem to really be working for anything. They just swim on by it. I want to catch my own merman. Alright, well if you can't catch one fishing, maybe you can interact with them. After I catch this little fish, as long as it's not a sea monster, I'm going to walk out there and see if I can interact with these. This fish, by the way, is just a tuna. Hey Willie, notice anything interesting about the ocean today? Probably not. He's not really a very great sailor. Alright, you cannot interact with the sea monsters. But you can clearly see where they're spawning, and I'm not really sure where they're going. They're just kind of walking off frame and probably despawning. At least I hope they are, otherwise the game is going to crash very soon. Next experiment. Can a sea monster get hit by lightning? The rarest of any event ever. I don't think lightning can even strike the beach now that I'm here. I'm not seeing it. I can hear it somewhere, but it's probably just blowing up my farm right now. I think it's most likely to spawn on my farm. Next, I've heard people claiming that the sea monster can spawn at the winter night market, so let's put that to the test. That's very easy to do at this point. Hey, look at that, it's winter already. No, the great question. Can the sea monster spawn here amongst all the ships? I'm thinking not now that I look at it, because most of their real estate is blocked off. By the way this mod works is I simply increase the odds of the sea monster spawning. 1 in 100,000, we're up to 1 in 10,000 now. 1 in 1,000, 1 in 100, 1 in 10, 1 in 1, and I'm still not seeing it. Normally by now I would be seeing them spawn pretty regularly, because 1 out of 1 means that we're getting 60 spawning every second at 60 frames per second. So I think that about confirms it. There's no sea monsters that can appear at the winter night market. So if anyone ever tells you they saw one, they're lying. Something else I want to mention is the sea monster might not be the same as the mer people, because as we know, there's a mermaid here at the mermaid show. This is probably actually what a mer person is. The sea monster is probably something entirely different. But that's been something of a debate for a while, but I kind of agree with that. This is a mer person, the sea monster is a sea monster, one of the Pam race. I suppose we could try summoning the sea monster under the water. I know some rare things can swim by the windows, so let's see what happens. As we make our descent, I'll go ahead and turn the odds way up so that anything that could spawn probably will spawn. Though again, I'm not sure this sea monster can be seen here, but we're gonna find out. And the waiting game, my favorite. My theory is nothing's gonna happen if it hasn't already. That thing's swimming by, but that's definitely not a sea monster. And at the odds we're rolling right now, we should see constant monsters. Okay, another shrimp thing. That confirms it. No sea monsters under the water. Suspiciously. But there it is. In case you've ever wondered how the sea monster works, how it spawns, where it spawns, if you can catch it, hopefully this video answered those questions. That's actually going to be it for this one because I don't know what else I can do with this, so thanks for watching.